citizens. 14 made it to Hollywood. But only one man and one woman will become next action star.
The assignment Howard gives us is we have to write our last will and testament. Basically what it is who would you talk to and what would you say?
Today's screen test deals with the issue again of life and death. And as we move through this process, the ante has to up in terms of everybody really getting the life and death issues.
He opens up the class telling us that we can ask questions about some of the critiques he's given us. As far as the exercise that we did the other day, yes. I know you commented that you were disappointed with me.
Not just during that, it's from beginning to end of the whole thing.
Right. Thank you.
Now, the only reason I've told you that I feel disappointed in you is because I think you have much more potential than where you go. Melisande, I know you're working very hard to get out of your head and to free up, and it's beginning. This is my guess, Jared. I think some of what's gone on in the whole competitive nature of the thing has gotten to you. When we first started, you were in a much better mood than I think you are now. Those of you who tend to do too much are going to be most interesting when you are more subtle.
I was the first one up, and when Howard said to me, "You are going to die," I took it in.
Pop, I thank you. Thank you for the gifts of tenacity and reassurance. And thank you for letting me see you cry. I love you, Dad.
The first will and testament that touched me was John's. He did a phenomenal job of expressing his feelings, and he's very eloquent.
When it came my turn, I really didn't want to go up because I felt that I couldn't properly articulate everything that I wanted to say to people.
For my father, Louis, you should know better than anyone that emotional presence and availability to your children is more powerful than a steady stream of child support checks. It really made me question my comfortableness with my emotions.
I got a lot of brothers and sisters, so it's gonna be...
We have time.
Part of my critique is that I'm not going for it, and that I'm like, you know, holding things back, and I need to really go for this if I want to win it. I thank my father for showing me what strength was. And I thank my mom for showing me compassion and how to care. And, man, part of me was a little bit hesitant, and then another part of me was like, you know what? That's how I feel. Started with my sister Danielle, who I've never told her this, but I've never told her, but you know, we went through some hard times, and she was there for me. I was
completely blown away by Sean. His tears were so sincere and so rare.
What you just had is an extraordinary breakthrough as an actor. Own that and never go back. I'm no longer disappointed in you, Sean.
I just laid it out there, man. I'll tell you, it felt good, you know? It felt good to say those things.
Jared?
Jared's was interesting.
How could this paragon of virtue and virility be cut down so in the prime of his life?
So half of his will and testament was like a skit, almost. I would just be like, what are you doing? This is the one time that I think you need to be real.
Jeff, you've been my best friend my whole life. You have an extremely offensive body odor, and your back hair is frankly disgusting.
It was forced. You know, I felt like I was at a play and I was the audience.
How will I go on? How can I go on?
I felt almost assaulted by his last will and testament.
I think it's absolutely organic to you, this performer guy. But you will find greater power in a little bit more simplicity.
Wasn't that it is supposed to be honest in how we would
it is honest. But what's interesting is, I think in your own background, you have manipulation and dishonesty that's organic to you. So that does come out. So my casting card, awards today are number 1 to Sean for this huge breakthrough. I'm incredibly proud of you. And my second one is to May for her huge breakthrough. Congratulations.
The casting card is a big deal because now I can pick my team. It's also a win. It's kind of like a little victory.
Jared can be seemingly authentic while being inauthentic. Jared can make himself cry, he can make himself feel anything at will, which is a neat trick, but it is a trick.
Next action star.